Welcome to your science class, class 5. Today we are going to continue the chapter 6, Air and Water, part 3. Let's start. Today we will learn about water and its sources, removal of impurities from water and purification of water. So what's water? Water is a liquid material that is important for survival of living beings. Just like air, we need water to survive. We need to drink water every day, and at least 6 to 8 glasses of water must be consumed by us on a daily basis if we want to live a disease-free life. Apart from drinking, water is needed for cooking, cleaning, washing, bathing, etc. About 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and most of that water is salty and is present in oceans and seas. Out of all that water that is present on the surface of the earth, only 4% contains fresh water. Means only 4% contains the water that we can drink. Now, what are the sources of water? We get fresh water from rivers, ponds, lakes, wells, rainwater, etc. Water from these sources contains some impurities that are dissolved in it. For drinking that water, we need to purify it. We need to clean it. And once we obtain the clean drinking water, that is known as potable water. So this potable water will not have any kind of harmful substances or other impurities dissolved in it. Now, the impurities that are found in water can be of two types. It can be soluble impurities or it can be insoluble impurities. Soluble impurities are those things that are dissolved in water, while insoluble impurities are those impurities which are suspended in water and are not completely dissolved. Let's see how we can remove these impurities from water. Removal of insoluble impurities. So the insoluble impurities such as sand and mud can be removed by two processes. First process is sedimentation and decantation. In this process, water is collected in a container and it is left to stand for 10 to 15 minutes without disturbing it. After 10 to 15 minutes, we observe a layer of dirt or sand which is settled at the bottom. This layer is known as sediment, and the top layer of liquid is known as supernatant. This supernatant liquid can be separated from this container by simply pouring it out into another container. Pouring this upper layer of liquid or this layer of supernatant is known as decantation, and both the process together makes sedimentation and decantation. Now, the another method of removal of insoluble impurities is filtration. In filtration, we use a filter paper which is placed inside a funnel, and then the dirty water is filled inside the funnel and it is let to pass through it. So the purified water or clean water is contained at the bottom, and all the dirt particles or the sand and mud particles are trapped by the filter paper. Filtration has various applications in our daily life. We use filter papers or other kind of filters in various appliances also. At our homes, air conditioners, vacuum cleaners, water taps, they all use some or the other kind of filters in it to purify water or air. Now, removal of soluble impurities. Soluble impurities can be removed by two processes again. The first is evaporation. Evaporation is the process of conversion of liquid into gas. Means water changes into water vapor. This is the method by which salt is obtained from seawater. The seawater is collected in shallow pans and then it is left under the sunlight for the water to evaporate into the air. As a result, the water changes into water vapor and leaves the pan and only the salt crystals are left in the pan. This is how we obtain salt from seawater. And the next method of removal of soluble impurities is distillation. This is what a usual distillation unit looks like. There is a flask which is connected to a condenser. The water in the flask is heated and it is collected from the other side. Now let's learn about distillation in a little bit detail. So basically, distillation is a process that is used to separate a pure liquid from a mixture of liquids due to difference in their boiling points. The laboratory apparatus of distillation is shown in this particular video. Let's see the process. The salt water is taken in the flask and then it is heated. Water converts into steam, it is evaporated and it reaches into the condenser. In the condenser, the steam is cooled and as a result the steam converts into water droplet. The water droplets are collected from the other end. So distilled water is considered to be the purest form of water as it does not contain any sort of impurities or germs in it. Because of this reason, distilled water is also used to conduct experiments in the scientific laboratories. It is also used in car batteries, inverter batteries, and it is also used for production of medicine. Purification of drinking water. Purification means the removal of germs and other harmful substances from drinking water. Now at home, purification can be done by boiling water for 10 to 15 minutes. This is the simplest way of purifying water. The drinking water that is supplied to our homes by the municipality, that is first dirty. So it has to be treated by following a certain process before it can be considered fit for drinking. So there are various steps that are involved in the process. Let's go through them one by one. The first step of purification is flocculation. In this step, chemicals such as alum are added in the water that increases the rate of sedimentation. Alum helps in clumping all the impurities together, which helps in better sedimentation. So after the chemicals are added, after the flocculation is done, comes the next step, that is sedimentation. Here the impurities are settled at the bottom. Then the supernatant is collected and it is sent into the another tank for aeration. Aeration is done to increase the oxygen content of the water. Here oxygen is passed into the water in the form of gas bubbles. After aeration, the water is passed into another tank for filtration. Now this tank contains various layers of filters and the water passes through all the layers and the filtered water is then sent for chlorination. Here chlorine is added into the water to kill all the harmful germs that are present in it. This is the final step. From here the water is stored in storage tanks and from the storage tanks the drinking water is supplied to homes and factories. So that's all for today's class. Thank you and have a nice day.